Friends, it's a pleasure to meet you again for this wonderful session on Foreign Exchange Management Act, PARDES. Today, we are going to have another feast of session. This topic will be on FCNR B account. We have with us two stalwarts on this particular subject. Madam Lalitha, very welcome, Madam, on behalf of all the participants. And also, we have with us the coordinator of this session, CAVV Sampath Kumarji. Sir, welcome to this excellent session on Trialogue on FEMA, PARDES. Let me hand over the session to our coordinator, CAVV Sampath Kumarji, to take the session further.
Dear participants, very nice to be part of this great initiative, and welcome Madam Lalitha and Dr. Raju. Dr. Raju is a chartered accountant, cost accountant, and a company secretary, valuation professional, and also insolvency professional. Let us go to the topic specific. Dr. Raju, what are the eligibility criteria to open an FCNR B account?
Well, before I venture into the FCNR B scheme, let me give a brief background about because when FCNR B account is there, FCNR A should be there. So this all started way back in 1975 when Reserve Bank of India introduced this concept called foreign currency non-resident account, where the account will be a deposit account and the designated currencies. So the non-residents can open a term deposit in foreign currency, not in INR, not in rupee. And whenever they reconvert that foreign currency to Indian rupees, there will be a determined, there is already a confirmed rate that will be committed rate by Reserve Bank of India, and that was FCNR A scheme. And due to the foreign exchange rate risk being borne by Reserve Bank of India at that particular point of time, and fluctuations was beyond the control, the scheme was dumped, and FCNR B scheme was introduced, where the exchange rate risk will be borne by the respective investor. So that is your FCNR B scheme account. Any non-resident Indian is eligible to open and maintain this FCNR B account with any authorized bank, except the NRIs of Bangladesh and Pakistan. They have to get approval from Reserve Bank of India. Point to be noted, the money to be deposited, if it is in INR, if it is in Indian rupees in NRE account, they have to convert that to foreign currency and it has to be deposited, or the remittance can be sent in the respective foreign currency, and without conversion also it can be deposited in FCNR B account. Over to you, sir.
Sir, Dr. Raju, FCNRA is the fluctuations in exchange rate is borne by Reserve Bank of India, whereas in FCNRB it is to the respective account holder. Can I take like that?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Raju. Madam Lalitha, what are the designated currencies and types of account in FCNRB account?
Well, when we talk of the currencies, first of all, very good morning to one and all, and thank you so much for having taken me as a part of the trialogue to both of you. Right, and when we talk of the currencies, Reserve Bank of India is very clear in saying nowadays, like it should be the designated currencies, okay, or permitted currencies, the currencies which are being, now allowed by the government of India, by the Reserve Bank of India to be traded into, okay. Earlier, we had some restrictions, 2 currencies, 4 currencies it was. Then it was made into 6 permitted currencies. Now it is the currencies which are basically, when you say permitted currency, these are the currencies as per the definition of FEMA, which are freely convertible And as per the definition, in Regulation 2V of FEMA 2000, right? So now what do the banks do? Banks normally accept in the currencies as per their requirements and demands as they normally trade frequently. So the basic currencies will be like USD, JPY, GBP, Euro, or like some banks take in Singapore dollars, Swiss francs, Canadian dollars, everything, most of the currencies.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Raju, what are the debits and credits permitted in this type of accounts?
Well, with respect to the debits and credits, what is permitted for the non-resident external account, NRE account, it shall be permissible for these accounts also. Number one. Number two, whenever there is a conversion, especially when you are opening the FCNRB, the deposit, as madam told, I normally remember this, the designated currencies in the form of Aru Padai. Aru Padai means 6 currencies I used to remember. US dollar, GBP and Euro, Japanese and Canadian dollar, Australian dollar. Like this, I normally remember. And whenever they have to convert it, the TT is selling rate, because they are selling the currency. So the selling rate will be applicable. Similarly, when the currencies, when the account is closed, it will be the buying rate. So this is the permissible debits and credits in terms of. So whatever the permissible debits credits in NRE account, same applicable, plus the selling rate with respect to at the time of opening the account, and buying rate at the time of closing the account.
So in simple terms, as a layman, it is the NRE account debits and credit with the subject to the rate variations. That is the uniqueness of FCNRB account. Madam Lalitha, what are the inland movements that is permitted out of the funds that exist in FCNRB account?
Well, FCNRB is again, like this is, as Dr. JK has said, this is just similar to NRE account. Only difference is this is in a foreign currency, that's all. So FCNRB account also does not have any restrictions. 100% repatriability, or I want to transfer to NRE account, or converting it into rupee, you can transfer to NRE, NRO, use it for any local utilizations, or you take it outside India. Everything is allowed, no restrictions, no interest, no conversion charges, nothing.
That's good. That's good. Then, Dr. Raju, what are the modes or manner of payment of interest in this type of FCNRB accounts?
Since it is a deposit account, the interest will be paid half yearly or on an annual basis. It can be chosen by the depositor. But only one interesting point here is you can open this, since it's a deposit account. You have to very clearly say, is it 1 year or 1 to 2 year or 2 to 3 year or 3 to 4 year or 4 to 5 year. It cannot be 5 and above. Second, if you pre-close your FCNR deposit account within a year, 1 to 2 year, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 means there will be a penal interest. But within a year, if the FCNR B account deposit is closed, no interest will be paid. I repeat, no interest will be paid, but rather we have to additionally pay some charges also. So that is one thing the investor have to keep it clear. They have to be very clear about it. Second advantage with respect to interest is the FCNRB deposit account is tax free under Income Tax Act.
So minimum deposit is 1 year so as to earn interest, otherwise no interest at all. Is one of the important inputs to the investors and to the participants. Madam Lalitha, what are the loans and overdrafts, that facilities that can be enjoyed or availed come out of the funds that exist in this type of accounts?
See, when we talk of loans, like as we have always been discussing in our previous programs, sessions as well, the depositor is a owner. So though it is for a contract period, he may be in need of funds in between. He may opt for foreclosure, but foreclosure, there are certain conditions which doctor has already discussed. But they can even go for taking a loan. We can advise, as a banker, I can advise them to go for a loan instead of losing the interest or getting the penalty and things like that. So, what are all the types? The banks do extend, they are allowed to extend fund based and non fund based finance against this. The loan can be in rupee or in foreign currency. They can take it in India or outside India. So, when I talk about outside India, as we discussed that day on NRE deposit, the loan can be taken by the depositor, by the NRI outside India in any branch of the authorized dealer, wherein he can pledge this FCNRB and take a loan over there, right? So that is also allowed. Only one condition is there. When there is, and the rates are all, like as you're aware, it's all deregulated highly. And the rate of interest, according to the rate of interest, even the loan rate, the plus certain interest rate will be charged in that case. But when there is a loan has been availed by the client, by the NRA on NRE and FCNR deposit, in that case, it cannot be foreclosed. The foreclosure is not allowed whenever there is a loan.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Raju, now NRE account or anything can be opened by a non-resident. If the residential status changes, what is the fate of the kind of deposits?
Well, when I am a non-resident Indian, I am eligible to open a FCNRB account. So I open a deposit account, maybe in US dollar or in euro or in Canadian dollar. I open. Now, when I'm returning back, for example, the deposit is for 4 years, and by third year I'm returning back. Very important. Once I return back, actually there is no need to change this FCNRB account to a resident. You cannot change it, but the uh, facility of, for example, the interest rate taxability for a normal resident account, what is applicable. So, for example, whatever is the FCNR interest rate applicable for 3 years, I will be getting the benefit for 3 years. For the third year to fourth year, no need to convert. Maybe I can convert it to resident foreign currency account if I am permitted to have, or it will only be treated as a resident account because I have returned back. So therefore, as far as Income Tax Act is concerned, for the third to fourth year, that last fourth year, it will only be treated as a resident account, and any benefit out of FCNRB account will be treated as a resident account, and it will be a taxable, that interest will be taxable. So that is what we need to understand with respect to this. So the authorized dealers, if they are you request them, they will convert the FCNR deposits on maturity into the resident rupee account. Okay, so whatever you have the rupee account here, savings account or current account, it will be transferred to that. So at the relevant rate applicable to the resident account only. So this is one thing we need to be careful about. So that means the moment I am back to India, even though it is a FCNRB account, it will only be treated as a resident account, and accordingly the banker. So banker, authorized dealer have to be very cautious, careful with respect to applying this provision. So the best option for an authorized dealer is they will not leave the account like that. They will convert that to a resident account by from the time the information is received by the banker.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Raju. Madam, there are two questions. One is what is the joint account holding that is permitted, and also the repatriation benefits of the fund available in this FCNR approach.
Well, when we talk of joint account, again, see, I repeat that FCNRB is nothing but like an NRE account. Only the major difference is the currency. NRE is in rupee, FCNRB is going to be in the permitted foreign currencies. Okay, that's one. Two, when we talk of the joint account, the same rule applies here. The joint account can be held between, like it can be with an NRI with another NRI, or an NRI with a resident close relative. When it is a resident close relative, as I told you already, it's as per section 10 or 210 of Companies Act 2013. There is a definition for close relative. So those close relatives, like for example, my son is an NRA and he wants to keep an FCNRB deposit as a joint account with me. He can jolly well keep it because I'm the resident close relative, the mother. But with only one condition, the operational instruction will be former or survivor. So what happens in all these cases is the operation is restricted and it will be available only at the hands of the original owner of the deposit, as long as the owner is hale and hearty and alive, right? That's one. No, I want to operate it, then go for power of attorney. That's a different thing altogether. Okay, that's one. Regarding so joint account is permissible with a resident close relative, with an operational instruction former or survivor. With other NRIs, it can be maintained with any operational instruction. It can be either a survivor, former or survivor, or joint account. Okay. Now, when we talk of repatriability, absolutely no questions asked. The reason being, it's like if you keep an FCNRB deposit in India, it means it's equivalent to keeping the money outside India. That much is the repatriability. No questions will be asked by the bankers. Whenever the client wants, the repatriability should be done.
So the repatriability, because it is held in foreign currencies, designated foreign currencies, and also the other currencies, and also the distinction very nicely explained: farmer and survivor with an Indian joint account holder. If it is an NRI, it can be any mode of operation of ERS or FRS. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Madam Lalitha. And Dr. Raju, what are the differences of this account other than NRE with respect to NRO? Whatever the point that has not been touched in NRE, you can touch upon. And what is the NRO account differences with respect to FCN?
Actually, it's a very good question, maybe as a summary part of it. I'll just give a similarity and the dissimilarity so that we'll appreciate the fundamental difference. There is one similarity. Similarity number one, NRE, NRO both are rupee account. Similarity number two, NRE and NRO, you can open a savings account, current account, or a recurring deposit account, or a fixed deposit account. These are the similarities. And what will be the dissimilarities? So one fundamental difference between NRO and NRE is NRO is non-repatriable. It is one side. NRE is repatriable. It is two sides. Another interesting feature, can you take loan on NRE and NRO account? Yes. But loan in India permitted, but on the whatever the money you have in NRE or NRO account, is it possible to take loan outside India? For example, I have 2.5 crores INR in NRE account as well as in NRO account. I want to buy a property in Singapore. I want to buy an apartment in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, I want to take a loan based on this security. Is it possible in an NRO account? No, not permitted. But in an NRE account, it is permitted. Similarly, loan for a third party. So a third party, I want to give my NRE account as a collateral. Yes, for an NRE account, you can give as a collateral and a loan can be given to a third party abroad, provided bona fide purpose. They have to mention for what purpose they'll use that particular money. So then third party also can give a loan, but NRO it is not possible. So these are the fundamental difference. Only one thing if is very clear in our mind: two way, one way, everything will fall in line.
Subject to restrictions.
Subject
For
to
restrictions. Yeah, thank you very much. Very nice. I want to know one short, quick reply from Madam. With respect to the exchange rate fluctuations, which one is a best shield with respect to fluctuation from the viewpoint of NRE account or FCNR account?
See, as we know, FCNR account is maintained in foreign currency. There's no fluctuation impact at all in that.
Correct.
One,
Correct.
right? And when we talk of NRE, yes, today you may convert it into rupee, then the day when you want to take it outside India, the rate is going to be different. But of course, there are many forward cover and other facilities are available. But there is something which you have not asked for, I would like to tell here, because you were
Please,
mentioning
please,
about
madam.
exchange rate,
Please,
if the time permits for 2 minutes,
please go
right?
ahead.
Yeah.
Please go.
There is another scheme which is called as RLFCD and FCLRD, rupee linked
Ah,
foreign currency deposit, foreign
ah,
currency linked to rupee deposit. This is something which is allowed by RBA, but which banks have not been really, pushing it much. That's what I feel out of my experience. At this point in time, when Reserve Bank of India has come out with lot of free hands to the banks in telling them to accept deposits and fixed rates on their own up till November 22, because we need now foreign exchange. So in that case, if you, which is better, so we can tell the clients to go for it. If they remit in rupee, like through the Vostro account, we can tell them to keep it in rupee linked foreign currency deposit. The forward cover will be done for 1 year. It's a 1 year deposit, no loan against it, no premature withdrawal. So this is something people can use. So when we talk of exchange rate, the exchange rate fluctuation will not affect FCNRB at all. But if you want to convert it on the due date to another currency, you can do that forward now. That is allowed.
so you're nicely touched upon with respect to rupee linked
Foreign
foreign
currency
currency
deposit.
deposit and foreign currency linked rupee deposits are both the scheme or whatever that
Yeah.
nicely
So this
explained
is
to have
done
a
for FCNRB. It's like whenever people want to keep it in FCNRB, looking into the volatility of the rate and the rate of interest that they get it here. So if it's a
yeah.
premium currency, they get plus, they get more benefit. But that's totally a different topic, and I don't want to go
Yeah,
deep
yeah.
into it.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And within the given short time, much of the thing that has been covered. Thank you, Madam Lalita and Dr. Raju. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Madam Lalita and CAVV Sambat Kumarji for joining on a Sunday morning. And despite the busy schedule having today, thank you very much. And all the viewers also, thank you very much for joining us on this Sunday morning.
Thank
And
you.
kindly share this information to each and every close friends and associate of yourself, so that the knowledge should get percolated to all the attendees. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you
Madam.
so
Thank
much.
you, Doctor. Thank you.